In this video, we will discuss creating alignments using fixed, floating, and free methods. If you'd like to follow along with this video, please open the file creating alignments-fixed, floating, and free methods.dwg located in the training folder as discussed in the Working with this Dataset video. There are many ways to constrain an alignment, and Civil 3D provides tools to enable you to add horizontal elements to your alignment to aid in this creation. Let's first create an alignment from objects. So we have a line that we want to begin with, the existing center line. So we'll click the alignment drop-down, create alignment from objects. At the prompt, we'll go ahead and select the line and press enter. Notice how you have the ability to reverse it if you need to. In this case, if your arrow goes this way, definitely reverse it as we need it to go this way for everything to work properly. Click reverse, and now the alignment is going the correct way. We'll name the alignment bypass-1. Make sure it's set to the type of center line. Set the alignment style to layout, and we'll go ahead and use the all label set. You can toggle off the add curve between tangents as we don't have any additional segments that we are creating this alignment from. We don't need to add any curves to the alignment yet. Toggle on erase existing entities. That way the align is gone, but notice how you have the option to turn it off if you want to. Make sure design criteria is turned off and go ahead and click OK. And now we have our first tangent. To get to the alignment layout tools, go ahead and select the alignment and choose Geometry Editor. So we're going to be dealing with these two drop downs here for the fixed, floating, and free linear and fixed, floating, and free curves. The first thing we want to do is we have two circles to define our second tangent. We'll just go ahead and draw this. We'll click on Fixed Line, snap to the center here, and press Enter, and there we have our fixed tangent. Because it's not connected, it can't station it yet because, of course, it doesn't know what our alignment continuation is supposed to be. We'll go ahead and add in a free curve. In the curve dropdown, click on Free Curve Fillet between two entities radius. Again, when you don't know what to do, look to the command line window. We'll go ahead and select the first entity, and then the second entity, and it is less than 180, press Enter, and our radius here is 850, and press Enter. Now press Enter again, and you'll notice the alignment starts to continue with the stationing. Now let's say we want to do a floating curve off of this. So right now we are actually at the PC, not the PI. And let's say you know the length of the curve and you know the radius is supposed to be, you have plenty of tools to do that. Let's click on the curve dropdown, more floating curves, from entity end, radius, and length. So we'll go ahead and pick our end first. Which way does it go? It goes clockwise. And then what's our radius, or as you can see here, you can do degree of curvature. In this case, the radius is supposed to be 500. We'll press 500, enter. And then what's our curve length? It should be 167.78, and then press enter. And there is our floating curve off of that. Now what we want to do is do a floating line off of this curve here. We're at the PT here. So we'll click on floating line from curve end and length. Select your arc to attach to, and now we want to define the length. Now, if I knew the length, I could just type it in. However, you can also snap to the end, and a circle is provided for you to snap to if you need to define it based upon some existing geometry. Press enter, and there's our stationing continuing to update here. Now let's say we have this line here. This is the existing center line that we want to tie into. We'll go ahead and do this in the middle of the command, which is pretty cool. You can just convert AutoCAD lines and arcs to alignment objects. We'll pick the line, and now it's part of the alignment. However, it's not yet stationing because, of course, we don't have it continuing. Now, what we want to do here, let's say, is do a curve and then a reverse curve. So how do we do that? Let's first do a floating curve off of this. We'll go to the curve dropdown and do floating curves from entity end, radius, and length. We'll go ahead and pick our entity end right here. It should go clockwise as well. And for the radius, this should have a radius of 500 as well. And for a distance, we want to type in 180 and press enter. And there is our curve. So to get a reverse curve from this point here, navigate to the curve dropdown, free curve fillet between two entities radius. We'll go ahead and select our curve object first, and then our tangent object here. Is it less than 180? It is. Press enter. Notice how Civil 3D is aware that you picked a curve. It's asking you, do you want a compound curve, a PCC, or a PRC? We want a reverse curve. What's our radius? It should be 700. Press enter again, and as you can see, fantastic. It put the PRC in there, stationing is continued, and there's our completed alignment. Don't forget, if you select the object based upon the constraints used to create this alignment, of course, it'll constrain the alignment based upon those constraints. And you'll get the grips that will apply those constraints so that you can't break them. If you want to remove constraints or change them, go to the Alignment Grid View editor And then in the panorama window, you will notice the ability to actually change many of the constraints by simply clicking here, unlocking it, and then you can click the drop down here and change them as needed to. Don't forget as well, you can change any of the lengths or radii depending on how it was constrained and created in the first place.